The Olina SE. Overall build quality, I have very few complaints. Metal shell, cable's pretty good. It doesn't feel premium in the hand, the cable, but honestly, it does the job really well. Doesn't tangle up a lot, and I like the termination. It's small. It can fit into anything. I like that. Um, yeah, very few complaints. How does it sound? Tuning is some of the best tuning, full stop. I really like how this is tuned. Bass is, I think I would I would pin the bass at neutral. I don't think it's too much. I don't think it's too little. I think it's Goldilocks, Goldilocks zone. I think it's the right amount. Mids, really well represented. Treble, when you get into the upper mids and treble, it peaks nicely at 3K and then it falls off. That's important to me because the Moondrop Chew, it doesn't fall off and it kind of keeps that energy going. It gives cymbals a kind of a weird shimmer, and it gives guitar kind of a metallic tone that isn't true to life to me. Yeah, so the way that this kind of falls off, it's perfect because the 7 hertz zero, it falls off too much for me. This it goes. I'd rather have too little than too much, but like the way that this falls off, it just cuts it too hard. This doesn't cut it enough. This is like, again, Goldilocks zone. It's right where it needs to be. When you get into the air, I maybe prefer a little bit more air in my replay, but I don't think that. I think that well, I think that the treble overall is really, really well handled. I don't think this is offensive really in any way, and the overall tonality of this set, when you look at the entirety of the tuning, insanely well balanced. Technicalities, it doesn't quite have planar like it's not like to like planar level separation, but overall technicalities, it's pretty dang solid. I have no complaints. I was still able to tell things apart. I could still tell, oh yeah, that's the bass guitar, that's guitar. It had enough separation that it didn't bother me. So awesome, awesome, awesome set. We're just going to talk about some tracks here. I'm just going to talk about the things that stood out to me. This Feeling Alright song, this played it back really well. I nothing overly stood out, and it just came off as like a neutral, nice playback. American Idiot, Green Day, awesome playback. Everything was where it was supposed to be in the mix. Cymbals decayed properly. Snare drum decayed properly. Guitars, bass, everything sounded right. Tom Morello's Highway to Hell, awesome replay again. The way cymbals and the way this does drums, awesome. Just absolutely awesome. And then, yeah, the way it balances bass guitar, guitar, vocals, it's just like everything is where it's supposed to be in the mix. This has like such a balanced replay. It's nuts. Real Thing by Lights. It's female vocals. It had this like sweet tonality to it. Nothing came off too much. This song made me realize that the bass is kind of at that neutral mark because the bass felt very sufficient here. Like it was like a good amount of bass. So it's like, oh, okay, I get it. This is like a neutral set, and if the song has a lot of bass, it's going to have a lot of bass. If the song doesn't have a lot of bass, it's not going to have a lot of bass. So that's what this went for. And I can appreciate that because it's so musical. It sounds so good. Old Dominion Blue Jeans. This is the song that made me realize I might prefer a little bit more air in my replay, just because some of those like upper harmonics of the guitar were they're a little too far for me, but they weren't so far that I couldn't hear them, unlike some other sets. So awesome replay there. It's just, yeah, I just prefer a little bit more air there, but the way it handled everything else in the mix, vocals, amazing. The Queens of the Stone Age, the way you used to do, this did the intro better in that song than I've ever heard with any set. Straight up. And so it starts with this dent 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 dent, and it's like this kind of like, yes, staccato, fuzzy guitar tone, and then it splits off into like it starts like here and then it splits off, and it's like then it's in the mix. This, like, a lot of times when that song splits off, it feels like the guitars get pulled back. This set didn't do that. It split off and it felt like things were where they were supposed to be. That's amazing. That was a lot of, I really enjoyed that. And I can appreciate that replay. Nora Jones, don't know why. Again, sweet vocals. Just nothing coming off too much. But it still hits the right spot. Just awesome. You could hear that, standing bass and the strings and the instrument separation when it's like tracks like that and not overly busy is just as good as any planar. It's only when things get super busy that it's like, okay, it's not quite planar level. So amazing replay there. She didn't come off shouty, didn't come off sibilant. Just awesome replay. Brothers Osborne, Shoot Me Straight. There's like a bass guitar with a overdrive or fuzz or something, and it drops down and it's super impactful. Oh, so good. This did that replay awesome. Guitars sounded great. It has this like weird scissors cut happening in the song. Just really cool song. I would suggest checking that song out. Just great replay. Arkell's 1111. There's like this guitar riff. It's really far back in the mix and it has like this fuzz to it. I could hear it clearly, and so the balance of this set, excellent. Really well done. Cypress Hill, Rise Up. Tom Morello's guitar sometimes can come off, because he does weird stuff, right? Can come off a little sharp here and there. Nothing. Yeah, really well balanced. So overall, I'm just impressed. I'm impressed with the tuning, because I don't know if I've ever heard anything sound that, I keep using the word balanced, but that balanced. It's really well done. The only fault I have is, yeah, it's not quite planar level separation, but I would okay, so P1 Max, these are currently the same price because this is on sale at Linsol. I would rather listen to the Olina SE without EQ than the P1 Max. This is so well tuned that I would take this all day, any day over the P1 Max. If you want better technicalities, you can always EQ the P1 Max and you can get an awesome sound out of that. But like straight out of the box, I much prefer the replay of the Olina SE. I maybe I like the Woo a little bit better, but that's like quite a bit more money. Like I'm talking like $50 more than this, I'm pretty sure. I think for that, 120 and under, this is the IEM to get, in my opinion, currently. I don't know. Maybe there's something else that's better. I just really enjoy this. I really liked how this did music across the board. I don't want to overhype it, but like at the same time, I think it deserves its time. It deserves to be shown off because, yeah, it's just one of the best tuned sets I maybe have ever heard. Period. The Olina SE. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.